Hi, and welcome to the Gig Coach Guitar Studio. I'm your instructor, Rick Bell, and today we're going to talk about some basic practice routines. Now, learning the guitar is like anything else. It's going to take some time and some practice, some effort. So when you're in class, you're going to learn material, and I'm going to fine-tune the things that you're working on. But then when you go home, you are going to have to practice on your own. So today I'm going to show you some basic things that you can do that will help you start to loosen up your hands. Now, there are three things that are going on playing the guitar. You have your left hand that's working on the frets, making chords, playing notes. You have your right hand that is picking or strumming in various different ways. And then you have your brain that's having to keep track of what both hands are doing and telling them how to work in unison together and be synchronized. So the exercises that you're going to do when you're at home alone or, watching television or anything like that, it's always good just to pick up the guitar and just play it. Just get your hands used to feeling the neck of the guitar. When you make chords on the guitar, you want to make your hand begin to remember how it feels to make that chord so that you have a shape in your hand. If you're making a C chord, your hand should be able to come up and just make that C shape without having to look at it. So a couple of exercises we're going to do today. The first one is a fingering exercise that is going to work off a 4-note scale. And it's pretty simple to do, but we want to use all 4 of our fingers, first finger, middle finger, ring finger, and the pinky. And we want them to be assigned to 1 fret each. 1, 2, 3, 4 frets. We're going to start this exercise on the 3rd fret on the E string. That's the little E string. And what we're going to do is just go up and down on each string. Our picking hand, we're going to go in a downward motion and an upward motion, alternating down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. That's where you're going to want to develop with this exercise. So let's do this starting on the E string on the 3rd fret, and this is how it looks. Then go to the B string, do the same thing, 1 string lower. 1 string lower all the way down. D string, A string. And then come back up. When you finish that fret, eventually you'll start to do the same exercise going up 1 fret at a time, this time starting on the 4th fret. Now notice I'm going a lot faster than you're going to be able to go. Don't get discouraged. It takes a while to get that kind of speed, but doing it is how you develop that speed. Just start slowly as you need to start on that 3rd fret. And your goal is to get each note to ring clearly. Don't let it be muted like this. You want it to ring. Okay, so that's your fingering exercise. Do that for about 5 minutes a day for sure, or longer. If you can stand to do it longer, your hand will start getting in a cramp. But if you can take a break for a minute or two and come back to that, that's really going to improve your ability to place your finger on the frets where they go. Finger placement. Finger control in the left hand. The other thing you want to do every day is work through your chords. Now you'll start learning basic chords in class, 1 or 2 or 3 at a time. Those chords that you learn, work through them. Practice strumming them and making each string ring completely. If it's a 6-string chord, that means you're playing all 6 strings. Play that. If it's a 5-string chord like the C is, where you do not play the low E note, strum 5 strings starting with the A string. But what you want to avoid is this sound. Hear how some of that's kind of muted? That's because I'm not pressing down straight down and cleanly with my fingers. That's what you want to work on. The D chord is a 4-string chord, but get them all to ring. And again, on your page on the student website, these chords are illustrated. So if you forget where your fingers go, that will tell you. But what you want to practice doing is being able to memorize where the fingers go on these chords and be able to change chords fairly quickly. It's not that hard to play the chord, but to play chords and change chords is a challenge. And that's how you learn to play the guitar. So an exercise to do when you're learning a new chord is to play the chord. This is a D chord, the D shape. Barely take your fingers off the strings and remember where they go and put them right back. Then barely take them off a little further. So eventually you take it where your hand is pretty far from the neck, but yet you can grab that D shape just like that. Do that with all the chords and just work on changing and fluidly strumming. You'll start out with a strum pattern just down, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then we'll incorporate a down, up, like 1, 2, 3, 4. And from there we get more involved rhythm patterns in the strumming. But that's what you want to work on every day for at least 15 minutes of practice time and more, preferably. But pick the guitar up. If you're sitting on the couch watching television, let the guitar be in your hand. You don't even have to play it. Your fingers can just be moving to practice that exercise. But continue to practice every day. It's real important that you do that. And I'll see you in class. Keep on playing.